An historical figure is someone who is a famous person in history. This person has played a crucial role in society and has impacted the history. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the biography of the historical figure named Robert E. Lee. Here's a picture of Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee was born on January 19, 1807 in Stratford Hall, Virginia. His parents are Colonel Henry Lee and Anne Hill. His father was known as Light Horse Harry, and at the age of 18, Robert E. Lee enrolled into West Point Military Academy. He was one of the 6 in his graduating class and never received a demerit while he was there. Lee received perfect scores in artillery, infantry, and cavalry. After graduating at West Point, he married Mary Custis. And here's a picture of Mary. They had 7 children, 3 boys and 4 girls. While Robert E. Lee stayed committed to his military obligations, his family stayed at Mary's father's plantation. He moved all over the country, from Savannah to Baltimore to St. Louis to New York. In 1846, the United States went to war against Mexico. Robert E. Lee was able to show his bravery as a battle commander. Lee was known as a hero when the United States defeated Mexico. His general, Winfield Scott, stated that the government should consider taking out a life insurance policy on the commander. Lee then returned home and to rebuild the plantation after the death of his father-in-law. In the year of 1859, Robert E. Lee returned to the Army. He accepted a position to be Lonely Cavalry Outpost in Texas. Lee got summoned to be put on an end to the slave rebellion started by Henry Brown at Harper's Ferry. Lee's attack took just a single hour to end the rebellion. Lee was offered to lead the Union forces, but he turned the offer down. He resigned and went home to his family, and Lee was committed to Virginia, and when they seceded from the nation in April 18, 1861, Lee agreed to take charge of the Confederate forces. In 1862, Lee found himself back on the battlefield. By taking charge of the Northern Virginia Army that May, he moved to the Union Army side of Richmond in the 7 Days Battle. Later in August, he and his army was victorious in the Second Manassas. Lee ran into a disaster. He nearly escaped the Battle of Antietam. The turning point of Lee's career was the Battle of Gettysburg. On June 1st to 3rd, the battle almost ruined Lee's entire army, and in the invasion of the North and helped turn the army around for the Union. In 1864, Lee confronted Ulysses S. Grant about the decrease of his army. Ulysses drove southward, preventing Lee to lay siege to Richmond and Petersburg. In 1865, Robert E. Lee evacuated Richmond, and a week later he surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant in Appomattox, Virginia. After the war, he returned to his family. Robert E. Lee accepted a job to become president of the Washington College in Lexington, Virginia. In 1870, he suffered a massive stroke and passed away at the home on October 12th. An animal that got Lee through his battles in the Civil War was his horse, Traveler. Traveler was a gray horse that stood 16 hands tall. Traveler had outlived Lee and was buried at Lee Chapel. Here is a picture of Lee on Traveler in a battle. Robert E. Lee was a historical figure who fought for his country with passion. While researching for this speech, I found a quote that he had stated about his confidence. He says, "I tremble for my country. When I hear of confidence expressed in me, I know too well my weakness, that our only hope is in God." Thank you.